My name is Melissa, and this is my channel, Healing the Hurt. You are watching another episode of Whiteboard Analogies and Illustrations, and today we're going to talk about grounding techniques. You may have heard the word grounding in a lot of different places, TV shows, maybe from your counselor, a friend. You're feeling anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed. You got to be grounded. You got to use grounding. Well, sometimes it's hard to know what that is, or why that is, or how it even works. I'm just going to give you just a quick mini lesson on it and then give you some examples. What grounding is it's something that can help kind of bring you out of anxiety or a panic attack, or maybe getting lost in a bad memory or a bad thought, or even racing thoughts, which sometimes can happen when you're overwhelmed with things that are going on in your life. When any of those things happen, you are basically drawn inside into your own mind. And sometimes it even panic attacks or anxiety can even cause you to clench your eyes shut. And you're just immersed in what's going on internally. And maybe your body is having a body memory, a reaction to something, or maybe your mind is just kind of going back into the trauma parts of your brain, and you're kind of stuck in a memory or in a feeling, a place even where there's no words. And it's just giving you a lot of anxiety. Maybe you're just feeling the anxiety in your body. A lot of people will get nauseous or have tension right here, or headaches or pain in other areas of their body when they're feeling anxious, and they don't know the reason, and they don't know what to do about it necessarily. Grounding techniques don't heal the root of that issue. They don't get you to a place where that doesn't happen anymore. But what grounding techniques do is they just help you kind of sidestep those symptoms a little bit and be able to manage those symptoms a little better. So that if you're maybe at work or taking care of your child or in a public place, and it's not a good place to feel that emotion and process it, you have a way to pull yourself out of that emotion. So if you think of all of that anxiety and stress happening internally, what grounding does is try to pull your focus and attention externally, which kind of is like turning away from what you're feeling and thinking and focusing on something different. So when we talk about grounding, we talk about using the 5 senses and coming up with a way to connect to your external world, which allows you to kind of disconnect temporarily from that internal overwhelm. So we have taste, we have smell, we have touch, we have sight, what we can see, and we have hearing, what we can hear. So you can use any of these senses. Most people, there's only a few grounding techniques that work for them really well. There may be a lot of grounding techniques that don't work for you. So if it takes you a little while to find something that helps you kind of step a little bit out of that anxiety, that's okay. Keep trying things and don't give up. We'll go through a couple examples here. So one is touch, what you touch. And so find something that has a different texture to it. Maybe it's a book and you can kind of feel it. And then the way you focus on it, because you can feel this and still be having your panic attack over here, but the way you pull yourself out of it is talk about it. So this feels smooth and it feels hard. So I can tell myself what that texture is. If I feel this, it feels soft, it's squishy, and it's bumpy. If I feel the wall, it's a little bit cold. Just cool, not really cold, but a little bit cool, and has a little bit of a texture to it. So as you touch things that may be around you, you can describe what you're feeling to yourself, and that's taking your focus from internally to externally. The same with your feet, pushing your feet kind of into the floor and feeling the floor under your feet. Even with your hands, you can like put your hands together, touch your own skin, and kind of focus on what does that feel like? Which finger am I touching? Touching my pointer finger, touching my thumb. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. With hearing and seeing, those are kind of similar. Look in your environment and pay attention to what's around you. So if I were to say how many things are hanging on my wall that you can see, we can see there's 2 things hanging on my wall. Describe what those are. One is square, one is round and kind of metal. One has flowers on it, one is silver. As you look in the space around you, you can visually see things, describe what you're seeing to yourself. You can't be internally lost in your play, in your thoughts as easily if you are focused externally. What sounds do you hear? The only sound I hear right now is my air conditioner and my own voice. But perhaps, oh, and there's a thump outside. So that's a new sound. Maybe you hear a car going by or the birds or something. Describe it. Say it out loud if you need to. Describe what you're sensing. Eating something, get a snack, eat something, taste can help. Think and talk about what you're tasting. It tastes salty, it tastes sweet, it's crunchy, whatever it may be. Focus on that taste. Same with smell. If you have any smells in the room, if you have a favorite scent that you like, a flower or an oil, you can use a scent and just focus on that scent and talk about what that scent reminds you of or how that scent makes you feel. The goal is to be external as opposed to internal. And as you do those grounding techniques, that can often help with anxiety or panic attacks to help kind of bring you back into the room. Now, having said that, I encourage you to get to the root of those anxiety and panic attacks, because there is a root. That doesn't happen for no reason. Sometimes it can be just a physical thing, something off internally that you need to seek some medical help with, but very often it's rooted in something in the past or in something belief that you have, something deeper. It's very helpful to pray and to take that to the Lord and just ask him to help reveal the root to you. And maybe you need to see a prayer person or a counselor, or just look into more resources about it. I'll put a couple websites here at the end of this video that you could check out that may help you. But get to the root. In the meantime, use some grounding techniques to just help get you present so that you can be in your present today moment instead of stuck in all those crazy paces inside. So thank you so much for listening today. And next time we will have another illustration or analogy that will help you learn and grow and heal.